All right. Well, thanks, everybody, and welcome to Historic Metro Hall for the 13th presentation of the Joan Riehm Memorial Environmental Leadership Award, named to honor a woman who passed too soon. Joan would be especially thrilled with today's award recipients this morning, given her work with students and, of course, her undying love for our city. Now, before we get started, I want to recognize any previous award recipients are here today, along with Joan's family and friends. So I know you guys are over here, so thank you very much for, let's all give them a round of applause for being here with us today. Recipients and friends, everybody in here, it's good. Now, the Partnership for a Green City works to align the public partners' sustainability initiatives with the city's initiatives and plans. This is the 18th year that four of Louisville's largest public entities, Louisville Metro Government, JCPS, JCTC, and U of L, are working together on sustainability initiatives. Intrigued by the possibilities of this partnership, Joan Riehm was essential in getting Louisville Metro Government to join as one of the founding partners. Together, the partners employ 30,000 people and teach 135,000 students. Carol Butler's here with us today and was part of that mischief back in the day as well. Thank you, Carol. So I think it's fitting here as the days of my administration wind down. I'd wanted to summarize, if you would bear with me, the sustainability goals that we've set and achieved over these past 12 years and how far we've come down the path that Joan Riehm envisioned and started. And so much about the mayor's office has taken handoffs from the previous mayor to the new mayor, then to the next mayor, and hopefully we can all build on each other's progress. So what we did was commission the city's first ever sustainability plan. It was aptly called Sustain Louisville, as a framework to shape progress toward three climate change goals: 100% renewable electricity for metro government operations by 2030, 100% clean energy for metro government operations by 2035, 100% clean energy and 100% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions community-wide by 2040. In 2021 alone, Metro government reduced its energy consumption by 15%, saving over $700,000 and avoiding 2,200 tons of CO2 equivalent emissions. We made parks improvements spanning the community. Shawnee Park's expanded dirt boat courts, a new boat ramp, increased services at Jefferson Memorial Forest, reopened the Iroquois Park Overlook, built a professional cricket pitch at Hayes Kennedy Park, 7 soccer and futsal fields, along with 26 new playgrounds with a focus on making all these installations accessible to everybody. Then we increased the Louisville Loop miles by 50% to a total now of more than 50 miles. That's a lot. We helped create Trees Louisville because of the big focus on trees and what they can do. We launched the Clean Collaborative to coordinate and expand work to boost city cleanliness. And I just saw early this morning, Louisville was one of the top 30 cleanest cities in the country. How about that? I thought that was interesting and something good. We unveiled a 20-year multimodal plan called Move Louisville in 2016 and improved pedestrian and bicycle accommodations throughout the city and invested in our complete street projects on main corridors, including the Dixie Highway Bus Rapid Transit System, our first ever bus rapid transit. We allocated $6 million to expand the U of L Envirome Institute Healthy Building Research Complex and Parkscape downtown, which will be introducing some microforest here in the community. Recognize Ted Smith here from the Envirome Institute and our first innovation officer for the city and the country as well. And we partnered with the Green Heart Project and the Nature Conservancy on a 6-year urban laboratory investigation to measure the power of greenery as a public health improvement strategy in Louisville neighborhoods. So that's kind of the top line. There's a lot more underneath that, but sustainability has been a very important priority for my administration. So now we honor Joan's memory with this annual recognition honoring sustainable environmental leadership in the public sector. As deputy mayor, Joan was best known for her positive personality, practical strategy, and an ability to build community collaboration toward ambitious goals. And I can tell you as a mayor, you really appreciate having a deputy mayor like that. And I'm blessed with a great deputy mayor with Ellen Hessen as well. But Joan was well known throughout the community for her ability to bring people together, get them on the same page, and then start getting things done. She was a remarkable woman who dedicated herself to public service and obviously strengthening her city in the meantime. These are rare folks that come by that are willing to think about the public good and dedicate themselves, in this case herself, to this mission when they could go off into the private sector and make a whole lot more money. But people like Joan saw that it's not just about building wealth, it's about building a city and building a community, and really there's no more satisfying work than that. She left an enduring legacy with sustainability as well, and environmental education and beautification of Louisville through Brightside and the Partnership for a Green City. So when you think about how important sustainability issues and initiatives are today, Joan could be seen as ahead of her times. Our recipients of the honor bearing her name also share these attributes. Joan recognized the value of government collaborating with other partners on sustainability initiatives, and this annual award has been presented since 2010 to a public servant, student, or volunteer who follows Joan's tenets of efficiency, effectiveness, and impact to improve and maintain Louisville's quality of place while providing strong leadership by example. At this 13th annual presentation of the award, our recipients join an esteemed group of individuals who have championed sustainability as a passion at work, at home, in the community. And for those of us who know these folks, I think passion certainly is an apt description. Passion and persistence, David Wicks. Okay, our first recipient today was actually selected for this award in 2020, but we could not present it because of the dastardly virus, COVID-19. So it's still kind of with us and refusing to go away, but we're past the worst. So his body of work is phenomenal, with service both locally and nationally. To wit, he has worked on environmental issues for over 4 decades with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Kentucky Department for Environmental Protection, the U.S. EPA, and the University of Louisville. He was Deputy Commissioner of the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection in Governor Wallace Wilkinson's administration. For well over 25 years, our recipient directed the Kentucky Institute on Environment and Sustainable Development. He's a published author of peer-reviewed research. He provided timely, real-world issues germane to Louisville as research opportunities for students at JCPS, JCTC, and U of L. He ran an air quality monitoring lab for over 20 years at U of L and worked with the West County Task Force on Environmental Justice and air quality issues. He has a passion for the environment and sustainability as well as a passion for teaching, and he's still teaching. His passion inspires his students in U of L's honors program. And he spent countless hours on Beargrass Creek and the Salt River Watershed Watch working on water quality issues. And he is one of the 3 founders of the Partnership for a Green City. This is an amazing body of work. And so for his career in environmental protection and sustainability, and particularly his dedication to Louisville Metro, we're extremely proud to present the 2020 Joan Riehm Memorial Environmental Leadership Award to Russ Barnett. Russ, congratulations. Give this in your check here. Share a few words.
Thanks for that introduction, Mayor. Incidentally, did you not assume that the pandemic was created by me to avoid this? But I am very pleased to be here and accept this award. I know all of the award winners in the past, and believe me, I am not anywhere near some of the accomplishments of some of the previous winners of this award. So I am appreciative of that. 18 years ago in 2004, I held a meeting with Dr. David Wicks, who's sitting in the 3rd row, as well as Dr. Alan Dittmer at the University of Louisville. David worked for JCPS, and we made a decision that we wanted to try to create some more formal partnership between the university and the JCPS focused on environmental education. We passed that word up through JCPS, and then it was recommended to us that maybe we should think about having the city join us. We had not thought of that, but we agreed that that would be a good idea because I knew Joan from her work dating back to when she was a reporter for the Louisville Courier Journal. I was tasked with calling her. Now, all of us have, over the years, have literally taken thousands of telephone calls, and most of them, we have no idea who or what we did. They're kind of things that we don't even think about anymore. But here it is 18 years later, and I still vividly remember that conversation because as I talked, I could feel or I sensed Joan Riehm's arms coming through the telephone wire, grabbing me by the shoulders and shaking the hell out of me to say, yes, of course we want to join. And that's when we started with the three partners. That's how it came about. I'd like to say that I was a founder, but it was a collaborative effort to get the partnership moving. Our very first initiative focused on getting an agreement between the three entities to jointly buy recycled content paper. We literally used tractor trailer loads of paper in our three entities, at that time, three entities, every single month. And so we were trying to see if we could get a collaborative agreement. We've never had anything like that done before. But we were able to do that, and at that time, we then became the biggest buyer of recycled content paper in Kentucky. And at that time, recycled content paper, sometimes the supply would drop too low, but our suppliers always made sure we got ours because we're the biggest customer that they had, and we're getting it at a cheaper price than virgin paper. So we've done a lot of things that the mayor has mentioned, and we are now at 18 years, and we've got to 2050 to meet some of our goals that all three partners, or now four partners, have agreed to become carbon neutral. And for us over the next few years, we've done a lot of things kind of on the fringe. But over the next 3 years, then the real challenge is going to be changing even options of what we buy, how we travel, how we use energy. We need to have more of a directed behavior change rather than encouraging behavior change. We need it more directed. So as an example of that, since my colleague David Wicks doesn't seem to understand that why energy is so important for sustainability is that we really need to change our concept of how we're using energy. And some of our biggest energy use is in the automobile traffic coming to and from all those 130,000 students and the 30,000 employees, all the energy that's being consumed. So if you think about it, the biggest way that we handle all of that traffic is all three partners have huge amounts of capital investment in parking lots and parking garages. I did a study 15 years ago at the university and calculated that it cost for a surface lot $5,000 a year for every surface lot per parking space on the campus, and for garages it was about $15,000. I'm sure the economics now are even greater than that. And so we have this huge capital investment, but what we really need to be doing is kind of forcing behavior changes by limiting who is allowed to come to campus and park. Do we really need parking space for every senior in high school just because they have a car? The answer is no. So we have a lot of challenges ahead of us, and so I encourage the partnership for the Green City to kind of think of those big pictures. You have only you've already used half your time to get to the 2050 goal of carbon neutral. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. And the goals are daunting, but you start, one person, one action at a time. That's how you solve any problem. We've learned that, but we'll do it. Okay, our second Joan Riehm Award closes out 2022 as another deserving award recipient is recognized for her extraordinary body of work over her academic career. She's a professor emeritus at U of L, and her academic focus as a plant and soil ecologist working in urban and suburban areas has benefited our city greatly. She's a sought-after presenter and keynote speaker about her research and her areas of expertise with 52 peer-reviewed publications. She was a member of the 2015 Louisville Urban Tree Canopy Assessment Group and led an EPA-funded study in partnership with the Louisville Olmsted Parks Conservancy to understand the impact of invasive shrubs in Cherokee Park. She co-chaired the Urban Forestry Subcommittee of the Partnership's Climate Change Action Report Task Force and wrote the Urban Forestry section for the final report. She has graduated outstanding doctoral and master's students who continue to work in and around our city. And she's conducted eco-tours in and around Louisville to educate residents about the importance of restoring woodlands. So for her lifelong dedication to urban and suburban ecology, trees, and ecosystem services, and her career inspiring students and educating citizens in Louisville Metro, we are extremely proud to present the 2022 Joan Riehm Memorial Environmental Leadership Award to Margaret Guerrero.
Okay. Well, wow. Thank you. I have just a few words, but I'm not usually, I can talk in lectures, I can talk extemporaneously about my subject matter, any weird time or place, believe me. Once a teacher, always a teacher. But in this kind of setting, I kind of freeze. So I've written just a few words to make sure I don't mess things up too bad. Anyway, thank you, Mayor Fischer. I feel honored to receive this Partnership for a Green City Award, named in memory of Joan Riehm, an exceptional woman who worked tirelessly for decades to improve conditions in our city for all who live and work here. It's truly humbling to even have an award in her name. But as we all know, and as Russ also mentioned, it takes a village to get things done. And I'm so pleased to see several members of that village, some of whom I've worked with here today, and some of them past recipients of this very sustainability award. Thank you, too. The project I'm most proudest to have worked on with you is improving the state of Louisville's trees. As a member of Mayor Fischer's Tree Commission, where I co-chaired the Tree Science Committee that produced the blueprint for Louisville's first tree canopy assessment. This assessment not only provides the basis for gauging how well we've been doing at planting trees over time, but it identifies which neighborhoods down at that tiny scale are in most need of trees so that we can prioritize our plantings to benefit those underserved communities. They're underserved because we know that among the many benefits of trees that provide us, trees help us fight urban heat today, and as they grow, will keep us cooler during future heat waves we face as climate gets hotter. Let's not forget, we plant trees now to protect the future health and well-being of our children, all our children. It is about them now, and we need to keep all our children in mind, front and center, in all our public endeavors. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
We're not done. The Partnership for a Green City has created a new Founders Award to distinguish individuals or groups who have played critical roles in sustainability, making Louisville a greener city and improving our quality of place, while inspiring others to be good stewards environmentally, socially, and economically. This Founders Award will not be an annual award, but the steering committee of the Partnership for a Green City will confer the award when exemplary service is noted. For the Premier Founders Award, the Partnership Steering Committee recognizes three people without whom the partnership would not exist. These three visionaries had ideas about how Louisville could improve environmental management, environmental education, and environmental health in our city. It was the foresight of Alan Dittmer, Russ Barnett, and David Wicks that has produced some staggering results over the years. Through working together, the partners made achievements in many areas, and I just want to mention a few. Joint purchasing contracts saved approximately $13 million since 2005. We save about $900,000 a year on 30% post-consumer recycled content paper. Energy efficiency improvements saved approximately $66 million from 2011 to 22. And in moving towards zero waste, saved approximately $1.5 million in avoided landfill cost. So think about all the GHG reductions here. We reduced 320 plus million kilowatt hours from 2011 to 2019, which equates to reducing 223 million pounds of CO2, or the equivalent of electricity powering 42,000 homes for 1 year. Recycled or composted millions of pounds of materials annually, including Louisville Metro solid waste management. We funded projects in schools and through the Louisville Sustainability Council micro-grant program. We held youth summits and educational symposiums and received grants for hybrid electric school buses, solar-powered streetlights, and vending machines. So speaking on behalf of Dr. Polio, Dr. Hardy, and Dr. Gonzalez, I would like to thank Al, Russ, and David for their foresight in creating this partnership. So let's give them a special award for the work that they did. And Alan Dittmer could not be here today, but sends his best. So let's have some other awards up here. Good job, man. Thank you. Sure. I took a big risk here. Okay.
Well, it really is a pleasure to have worked with Joan Riehm and over the past 12 years to work with Mayor Fischer. One of the pieces that, as we listen to Mayor Fischer's list of, what the partnership has done, one of the pieces that we're good at engineering. We're good at the technical side of it. But, when you really think about reaching out to all of our citizens and all of our students, we still have a big job to do. We're not there. I think we're building our infrastructure to be more sustainable. Now we just have to create that lifestyle that goes around it. And it's not only the lifestyle of those here in Louisville, but one of my passions is a regional approach. We all live in the Ohio River Valley, and what flows down from Cincinnati is our problem. It's not what we create. So we just have to figure out what to do with those folks up in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh so our river is cleaner. But want to thank Mr. Fischer, Mayor Fischer, a lot. And I hope you get out on the river more as you have less meetings to go to.
Look forward to that. Thanks, David. Thank you, David. All right. Thanks, everybody. Are there any questions from the media? Thank you all for covering this very much. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Let's have a group picture up here, maybe with everybody and anybody else. So make yourself at home. But thanks for coming out, everybody.